Hey, you better get your coffee ready because today we're going to talk about the cheating issue in PUBG once again and what is PUBG doing about it. They have a recent update, but before we get started, sit back, relax, smack that like button. Now, I would just like to say I'm not talking crap about PUBG. Cheating is a big issue. I am addressing it because it seems to be a big problem at the moment and talked about a lot in the community. And we're going to take a look at what PUBG is doing about it, talk about whether it's enough, what could be done better, because obviously we're all smarter than video game developers. I mean, come on, no, I'm kidding. But sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it feels that way. So get your coffee ready because I have no idea how long I'm going to ramble about this. But before I start rambling, if you want to read the source article for what we will first talk about, it is in the video description. So here we go. PUBG Care Package Episode 3 VOD and Summary. I'm just going to scroll straight down. And we're going to go over all of this, but I'm first going to talk about cheating. Here we go. Question. Can you share more about the anti-cheat measures? So, for anyone who doesn't know, these PUBG Care Package episodes are done by the developers, and they answer a lot of questions that are asked by the community about what is being done to better the game and general information about the game, updates, future plans, etc. The question I'm interested in is, can you share more about anti-cheat measures? And here's their answer. I will read it off word for word, then we will talk about it. As outlined in our roadmap, we are intensifying our focus on anti-cheat measures this year. Our primary goal is to reduce the incidence of wrongful temporary suspensions with ongoing preparations for deploying relevant solutions. We are committed to progressively enhancing our anti-cheat efforts and demonstrating continuous improvement. What? What? I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a bunch of word vomit. Like, is that really all they said about cheating? That sounded like something like during an election that a politician would say when asked a question that they weren't sure how to answer. Just a bunch of, oh yeah, we have plans to do our best on it and make plans to make more plans to do our best about doing better and taking community feedback. And that's what I'm going to do when I get elected. Things are going to be better. That's what's called things are going to be better. Oh, sorry. Just what? Okay. And then of course, the reason you all clicked. How are you addressing the use of mouse macros and mice and keyboards on consoles? Ooh, here is a juicy one. We have... Oh, whoops. Sorry, I was on the wrong one. There we are. Our anti-cheat team is actively monitoring the use of mouse macros and use of mice and keyboards on consoles, striving to implement prompt measures. See, this is why you needed the coffee for this one. I'm going to tell you right now. This is why you needed the coffee, because this is nuts. Sorry, I messed up. Look at that. I messed it. It's got me so perturbed. I'm messing up the aspect ratio on my damn webcam. I can't even make a video right. I'm so upset about their non-answer to cheating. Have you guys got your coffee yet? Because God, pause the video and get your coffee. Is that all we get? We're working on it. That's what they said. We're working on it. Sorry, don't got a lot more information for you. I don't know if you guys remember the last care package episode I talked about, but when the lead anti-cheat developer seemed petrified when the interviewer asked him what they were doing about cheaters. I wonder if there's anything they can do. PUBG's built on an old engine, Unreal Engine 4. They could upgrade to Unreal Engine 5, but that's going to get hacked too. It's not just a problem in PUBG either. It's a problem in all competitive shooter games. And of course, even if you don't play shooter games, if it's online and it's competitive, there's going to be people cheating in any way that they can. So it's definitely a fight. It's always a fight between the developers and the cheaters. But I swear, lately it just seems like my PUBG matches have been bogged down with cheaters. I've still been able to pull off some good chicken dinners and have a lot of fun on the streams, but the amount of cheaters I run into has been unprecedented. It's just, there's so many of them. And then for PUBG to respond with this non answer about what they're doing to address the cheater problem, and it really is a non-answer. It's like, hey, we have this massive issue on PC and console with people using aimbots, ESP, mouse macros, keyboard and mouse on Xbox and PlayStation. Like, this is getting out of hand. Can you guys do something about it? And their answer is, yeah, we're working on it. And this is what they've said every single year, at the beginning of the year, halfway through the year, plans for the next year. It's always the same load of crap. It's always, oh, we're doing the best we can. But the other thing that gets me is they're talking about their primary goal. This is what really got me. Their primary goal is to reduce the incidence of wrongful temporary suspensions. Okay, let's be honest. There's not that many people getting banned falsely. It happens, though. It's happened to me 3 times. It hasn't happened in a long time, but there have been 3 times in my PUBG career where I have been temporarily banned for 24 hours wrongfully because I was having good games and too many people hit the report button. Honestly, that's not going to happen to most players. I'm sorry, but most players aren't going to do so incredibly well that people think they are cheating. Now, the paranoia about cheaters might cause that to happen more, might cause people to hit the report button more on players that are not cheating. But really, is that their fault, or are they just paranoid because there are so many cheaters in the game? So instead of focusing on wrongful suspensions, which would probably only affect, or mostly just affect, top tier players, why not just focus on the cheater problem as a whole? Unless they've just given up. And that's kind of where, this is my theory. I think they've given up because they either know they can't do anything else about it, or they have something else in the works. Like, they have a different PUBG that they're working on, a new PUBG, a new game. Probably not what's actually going on. Most likely not what's going on. I hope it is, but it could be that they just gave up. Like, they do have AI anti-cheat. They have that. And before you go into the comments, not you specifically, that one over there, the guy behind you. Whenever I make a video about cheaters, most of the comments I see say, why don't you hardware ban them? That doesn't work. I've been able to spoof an IP address for almost 20 years now. I took my original Xbox 360 to a hotel one time and it couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi, so I spoofed the IP address on my Xbox so that it thought it was my laptop, which was already connected to the Wi-Fi, and it let me play. That is the easy way. There are so many easy ways to get around hardware bans. It's incredible. Most modern anti-cheat software or cheat software will spoof your hardware ID anyway. So before you go down to the comments and say just ban their hardware, it doesn't work. If it were that simple, it would have been done. Or just ban their IP address. IP addresses change all the time. You know, every time you turn your router on and off, or there's a power outage or something, you get a different IP address, most likely. Sometimes it happens at random. So ban it, and IP addresses can also easily be spoofed with a simple VPN or proxy service. So if it were such an easy solution to ban cheaters to just ban their IP address or ban their hardware, there would be no more cheaters. And if there were cheaters, they would get banned so fast it wouldn't even matter. So I do have some sympathy for PUBG because I know it's not as easy as we would like to think it is. It is a major problem. I used to be one of those guys that was like, man, why is it so hard to ban somebody from using an aimbot? And I still kind of am. You know, when I think about it, I'm like, dude, didn't we fly to the moon in the 1960s? But here we are in the 2020s, and we can't stop some kid from using radar and ESP and wall hacks and aimbots and keyboard and mouse and strike packs. Like, really, is it that hard? Nah, it's if there was enough money sunk into it, I think cheating could easily be figured out. But I think that the companies that the shareholders and the people that control the revenue for these games are not willing to put so much money into anti-cheat efforts because it's not affecting their bottom line yet. So they're not losing enough money. As soon as they start losing enough money, they will do something about it. Unfortunately, that's just how this world works that we live in. These problems have to be big enough to cause great monetary loss in order to be fixed. I guarantee you, if everybody just quit playing competitive games overnight and said, we're just not going to play games anymore, or we're just going to go back to single player games because we're tired of all this cheating issues, it would be fixed. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would be way better than it is now. People would be like, oh my God, we're going to lose so much money. Do something about the cheaters. Do it now. They would put millions of dollars into the effort, and there would be some amazing AI anti-cheat that comes out, or some new method that we haven't even thought about. So if it's a problem for the bottom line, they're going to fix it, but that's not where we are yet. So that's pretty much what I have to say about cheating. I wish there was an easy solution. The PUBG developers are not idiots, although sometimes they do make idiotic decisions. They're usually pretty good about listening to community feedback as of late, although they have had their issues with that too. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the cheating issue. We'll go over the rest of this now. So glad I have my coffee for this. Once again, if you prefer to read this yourself, link will be in the video description. This came out like last week. Shout out to Helion Prime. Thanks for telling me about this. I was thinking about making a video on the whole thing, and there just hasn't been a lot of news lately. And then I actually read the part about the cheaters, and I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. I think I need to talk about this a little bit, because every now and then I just have to do a rant about cheaters. All right. I'm ranting a lot this video, which is why I have my coffee. And if you've made it this far and haven't hit the like button yet, my God, what are you doing with your life? What are you actually doing with your life? Take a moment, smack the like button. All right. So officially done talking about cheaters. And now we are going to do the Q&A. Okay, 2024 roadmap, destructible terrain. The destructible terrain feature introduced in update 29.1 is available on Rondo. This is part of the strategy to deploy new functionalities on specific maps first to carefully monitor and evaluate their impact. So like I said, they're using Rondo as the new test server. Gunplay. As previously outlined, our intention is to consistently update gunplay every 2 months. We are committed to enhancing the usability of a variety of lesser used firearms. In particular, the SMG rebalance is designed not just to increase their usage rate, but to emphasize the unique attributes that SMGs bring to the game. I don't know why they have to do that. I felt like the SMGs were fine. You had to be pretty good to use the SMGs at medium range. If you had the right attachments on, they shred. But if you have the right attachments on an assault rifle, it shreds at close and medium range anyway. Same thing with the shotguns. Like I never thought that there was an issue with the shotguns in the first place, but they went ahead and nerfed them, and now they're basically unusable unless you're like right next to the guy. It was really awesome finding a duckbill or a choke for a shotgun and be able to hit people at like closer medium range, but now you can't do it. Nobody uses shotguns anymore. Rare. People still do it, but it's rare. Way more rare than it used to be. I don't see why they do some of the things they do when they do what they do, how they do, if they do what they said they would do when they shouldn't do the thing that they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Great. Unreal Engine 5. We are investing significant development resources into Unreal Engine 5. While it is challenging to provide a definitive release date, we are dedicated to achieving the visual standards our players expect. We are hopeful about sharing our progress within this year, focusing on maximizing visual appearance while ensuring optimal performance. So I was hoping Unreal Engine 5 update would be less about the graphics and more about anti-cheat measures, but from this short paragraph, it is not. It is just about optimization and visual standards, which is great, but in this game that's about shooting people, I could really care less how pretty the texture on a tree looks. That's more for a single player type of game. In PUBG, I just want an optimal frame rate, smooth gameplay, and I mean, the textures shouldn't look like total crap, but they don't have to look amazing. I don't need 4K RTX on ray tracing I'm here to send people back to the lobby and get chicken dinners, not to stare at the pretty trees and rock textures. Thank you. User-generated content. We aim to enable players to create and enjoy their own game modes with friends, but confirming a release date for this feature within the next year remains difficult. That's like that Fortnite system where they can go in and design their own game modes and maps and stuff. That would actually be pretty fun. I got nothing against that at all. All right, when will tactical gear return? Many players have expressed a desire to see tactical gear return, even in a less powerful form. After considerable deliberation, we plan to announce updates related to tactical gear shortly. Some of the tactical gear was great. I'll admit that. I really enjoyed being able to heal my vest and pull and replace tires on a car. The drone, we don't need the drone. I don't care when it gets used. If you can only use it in the final circle or the first circle, we don't need that. We don't need any kind of radar. The drone and the blue chip detector were so overpowered it just broke the game for a while. Yeah. So I'm all for like vest repair, vehicle repair, stuff like that. But nothing that reveals enemy player locations. We don't need UAVs. This is not Call of Duty. Part of what makes PUBG great is not knowing where the enemy is, which is why it's so annoying when people are using wall hacks. It just changes the whole dynamic of the game. Please don't put wall hacks into the game as tactical gear. The coffee is good today. The coffee is good. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. So they have something about GPU crashes here. We're going to skip that. My GPU has not been crashing. There's been a new driver released apparently. That's good. What are your thoughts? Okay. What are your thoughts on having the old character animation back? What is this about? The original animation was developed quite some time ago over a brief period, leading to some deficiencies. Following the motion update, we've indeed seen mixed reactions. Reverting to the previous version might affect esports and discomfort players accustomed to the current system, and enabling players to switch between the two options will potentially cause performance issues. No crap. Who cares about the old character animation? I don't. Can you share more about anti-cheat measures? We already talked about that. That was just there. We promise we're going to do something about it, but we're not. Answer. How are you addressing the issue of mouse macros and mice and keyboards on consoles? We already talked about that. Could you create more content for newbies? Oh, this is good. We are definitely dedicated to creating content that is enjoyable for all players. Please send feedback, especially you beginners, and we will do our best to discuss it with our dev team. That's cool. That's cool. Ranked rewards updates. Skip that. In-game sound balance adjustments. Okay, PUBG has some of the best sound I've ever heard in a video game. As far as directional and quality. I'm not just here to bash PUBG, I'm telling you guys. The sound in PUBG is amazing. Ever played Warzone or Apex or Fortnite, heard footsteps and couldn't tell whether they are above you, below you, beside you, or inside you? Not in PUBG. If you get good enough at PUBG, you can tell exactly where the footsteps are coming from and the gunshots. But having said that, we began discussing this issue earlier this year. There are challenges such as overly loud vehicle noises drowning out gunfire and footsteps, which then require further adjustments. We remain in ongoing discussions with our sound team to refine these aspects. When will collaborative skins be released? You can soon experience new collaborative skins, starting with the Ducati. Okay, great. Are there plans to buff the Dacia? We are planning comprehensive adjustments related to all vehicles. Another non-answer. Not that I care too much about the Dacia. Are there plans for duo ranked matches? I think ranked is only solo right now. Solo and squads. Where I live, it's like impossible to find a ranked match. Like nobody plays it. There's not enough players. Can you increase the maximum height for co-op climb? I've never done a co-op climb before. I've actually never done this. That's where you climb, you're up on something and you help your teammate up. Never done it before. I only really play solos. Ha, that poor guy in the water. Current initial feedback suggests that overly free movement to high positions should be restricted. However, we will discuss raising this limit. Okay, great. Can you add a custom crosshair feature? While we consider adjusting the current crosshair features, making them fully customizable is challenging at this moment. That could potentially lead to some kind of a cheating or a glitch issue. It would be kind of cool to customize the crosshair, I guess, but not very necessary. Can you lower the height for emergency pickups? We have already lowered the height in a previous update and are not planning further reductions. However, we will explore adjusting the frequency of its use to reduce its invincibility. I guess they're talking about how when somebody's on an emergency pickup, it's like impossible to shoot them because they're so high in the air. You have to aim your gun like so far ahead of them that it's basically off screen in your scope when you shoot. Are there plans to introduce a feature that allows players to lock out maps they prefer not to play? Unfortunately, this feature could lead to longer matchmaking times and disruption, making it challenging to implement. Okay, that's the end. As far as that goes, just add map voting. Have all the maps available to play, and at the beginning of each match, show 3 random maps to vote from. Don't let people vote from all the maps because then everybody's just going to pick one map and there will be a dominant map. But if at the start of every match there's 3 random maps you can vote for, then all the maps will eventually get a fair play, in my opinion. I'm sure it's not a perfect system, but I think it's better than the one we have now where you only get 5 maps and they rotate them once a week. I'd like to be able to vote for Erangel every now and then. You know what I mean? Well, yes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It is a little disappointing that about their non-answers for cheating on PC and console. But don't worry, guys. What is it? Why am I toasting on? It's supposed to be replays, not me. Oh, that was a replay when I destroyed Grumpy Joe. That's right. There's me. I'll toast to you right now. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next video or the next live stream. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to smack that like button. I'm legally required to say that by law as a YouTuber. So there you go. Seriously, though, thanks for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the comment section. Bye.